Today on Good Morning Maine, we'll have an insider look into the Penobscot County Jail, and we'll hear from the Sheriff's Office on their purported need for an updated facility. Plus, the town of Bradford is considering a moratorium on the development of certain housing and structures after one man said he wanted to build affordable housing. And we'll have part 2 of our interview series with the Red Cross today, in which we'll learn hands-only CPR. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. Thank you for joining us. I'm Emma Smith. Let's get a first check of that forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Need the proper fit or experiencing foot pain? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. All right, let's get into things this morning. The radar and satellite looking pretty quiet out there. And there was a few returns on the radar earlier for a few raindrops, but a lot of that has since gotten out of here. And today looking to be rather calm. Just a few clouds that will be passing through. Maybe a sprinkle if you're lucky. But I think most of us will stay dry today. We'll have more clouds in the eastern parts of the state than anything else. As you do zoom things out, though, some of this will be courtesy of that area low pressure is tracking off towards the north and east, so some leftover returns could possibly show up there from time to time. But otherwise, we're looking pretty good as we do move forward. Futurecast for today, some clouds moving through, maybe a few raindrops as well. Notice we'll hold on to some of those clouds later on tonight, but also some clearing expected in a few spots. As for the wind, it'll be out of the northwest at times, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So overall, not too bad there. No major gusty winds on the way anytime soon. A lot of that will stay away from us. So for today, not too bad. Lower 70s under a partly cloudy sky and northwest wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, upper 40s, partly cloudy. Northwest breeze at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Awesome, right? Highs in the low 70s. North wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a partly cloudy skies. Temperatures rising into the lower 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. Ronald Harding was sentenced in Penobscot County Superior Court yesterday for causing the death of his infant son. In March of 2023, a jury found Ronald Harding guilty of manslaughter in the death of his 6-week-old son, Jaden. Harding caused Jaden's death by violently shaking the child on Memorial Day in 2021. Yesterday, he was sentenced to a maximum of 15 years with all but 8.5 suspended. Assistant Attorney General Leanne Robbins says state police and the Attorney General's office must stand together in cases surrounding the death of a baby.
The fact that there was no family here to speak for the victim is tragic, but it's all too common. And so that we from the Attorney General's office and the Maine State Police, we must stand up for these victims.
Harding will serve 6 years probation upon his release, during which he is ordered to not have or to have no unsupervised contact with children under 12 years old. A Lubec man convicted of murdering his girlfriend last year was sentenced to decades behind bars yesterday. Our Matthew Jurancic has the story.
67-year-old Paul DeForest will likely be spending the rest of his life behind bars for killing his girlfriend Eva Cox in January of 2022.
The court concludes the 32-year sentence that was recommended by both the state and the defense is an appropriate maximum period of incarceration.
We're glad for the family to have this case resolved and for them to be able to move forward.
DeForest was arrested in January 2022 after a disagreement he had with Cox over their retirement plans, during which DeForest fatally shot her. Defense attorney Stephen Juskowicz says this was a tragic mistake.
He's never tried to evade his responsibility for what was a tragic evening. It was a terrible mistake, but there's no undoing of the mistake.
Maine Assistant Attorney General Lisa Bogue disagrees.
He made a decision to kill another person and use a firearm. So I guess maybe in his own head, it was a mistake for him to act intentionally or knowingly to take the life of another person or to shoot her.
DeForest was also sentenced to 5 years of criminal solicitation of arson for planning to set David Case's house on fire. DeForest will be serving both sentences concurrently. Justice Murray also ordered that DeForest must pay more than $3,100 in restitution funds to the Victims' Compensation Fund. Friends and relatives of Eva Cox were inside the courtroom but declined to comment. In Machias, Matthew Jurancic, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A convicted murderer says there is new evidence to suggest that he was wrongfully convicted. Jimmy Lipham of Glenburn is serving a 40-year sentence for murdering David Langway in 2004. A post-conviction review took place yesterday where Lipham referenced his now deceased wife's medical records, saying she was diagnosed with dementia, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia. She was also the state's key witness during his 2004 trial. In a statement from Lipham's attorney, Vernie Parody said in part, quote, "Mr. Lipham has spent 20 years in prison and is hopeful, based on his testimonies and new evidence presented, that the judge will deny the motion to dismiss. According to the judge, the matter will be under advisement for the next few days before a decision is made." A warning from the Aroostook County Sheriff's Office. They say citizens are receiving scam phone calls from someone claiming to be Sergeant Nathan Chisholm from the Sheriff's Office. They say the caller is telling folks they've missed a court date and are required to send money to the Sheriff's Office by a cashier check. The Aroostook County Sheriff's Office is reminding area residents that they will not call anyone requesting money be sent to them. And if you missed a court date, the Sheriff's Office will not call you. In other news now, the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office has been stressing the need for an updated jail facility for several years as they continue to face major structural damage and overcrowding. Yesterday, our Grace Blanchard got an exclusive look inside the Penobscot County Jail to see its current state.
It's an old granite building, shored up with cinder blocks on the side of a river that's starting to fall apart.
Penobscot County Sheriff Troy Morton says the county is in dire need of a new jail, given its deteriorating condition.
This is a very old jail. You can see the damage in this building. There's no way to repair some of this without tearing parts of it down. We have walls that are simply separating.
According to Sheriff Morton, the layout of the jail also creates an inconvenient work environment.
Linear style jails take a lot more staff, and it's a lot harder to maintain because the place is broken up so much. This is our entire counseling area. So if you were receiving mental health counseling, substance abuse counseling, this is the only place in the jail that can have this done.
Overcrowding is also a major issue they face, as they currently have a state-rated capacity of 157 beds, but are holding over 172 inmates, with nearly 100 more being outboarded to other facilities. Morton says the overcrowding and outdated structure has created a dangerous environment for everyone in the facility.
It's extremely staff intense. It's dangerous for our staff. It's dangerous for the inmates.
The conditions have caused recruitment issues as well, as around 20 full-time positions remain unfilled.
There are no shower rooms. There are no, there's barely enough lockers for each officer.
Morton says they have been stressing the need for a new building for more than a decade. He says the goal is to ultimately provide a safe facility for both inmates and staff.
Our mission speaks directly to a safe and humane environment for all in the facility. Without having a correctional facility that's appropriate to do that, we're not able to meet our mission.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
September is Safe Home Awareness Month. Maine's Department of Public Safety says there are a few very simple things you can do to make it safer. They're urging everyone to properly secure their prescription drugs, firearms, and other dangerous weapons. Maine has the highest firearm mortality rate in New England. Last year, the legislature unanimously passed an act to establish the Safe Homes program. That program created a tax exemption for devices specifically for securing firearms. You can get more information on the Safe Homes program at maine.gov. The town of Bradford is considering a moratorium on the development of certain housing and shelters. This comes in the wake of last month's meeting surrounding Bangor Friends of Affordable Housing President Michael Tuller's purchase of a Middle Road property. Tuller told us he plans to build a residential building there, specifically for veterans and people experiencing hardship. However, Bradford residents are concerned that Tuller could allow homeless individuals to live at the property at a reduced rate or even at no cost at all. Tuller addressed these concerns, saying those claims are untrue and that he's just trying to provide more housing for those who need it most. The town held a meeting Monday to discuss the language of the ordinance. The ordinance states the town has suddenly seen increased development pressure from proposals for houses and shelter. It goes on to mention the concerns of Bradford residents brought up during the meeting, including location, development, and health and safety aspects. The ordinance would give the Bradford Select Board 180 days to consider these concerns and hold further discussions. All right, the time now is 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, the University of New England has received a grant to encourage more folks to become behavioral health professionals. We'll hear why, but before we take a quick break, let's get another look at that forecast. Partly cloudy today. It'll be quite breezy, though, in certain parts of the state, especially out on the water. High of 70 degrees, dropping down to 48 tonight. Those clouds will hold on. Tomorrow, though, mostly sun in the sky. High of 71. A beautiful day in store. We'll be right back.
Do you want to improve or upgrade your home? Well, At Home Furniture, Appliance, and Bedding in Lincoln and Dover Foxcroft has got you covered. We pride ourselves in the relationships we build with every customer, from commercial businesses to homeowners. We have some of the best prices on the best brands of appliances, furniture, and mattresses, and we even offer full kitchen and bath remodels with a designer and installers on staff. So stop in today and check us out at one of our locations and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Planning to dig in your yard with power tools? Call DigSafe first. Call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig. Utility crews will come out and mark where your gas, power, and cable lines are buried. Keep yourself and your neighborhood safe. It's the law.
Starting this morning on GMA, it's a 2-day live Deals and Steals September Spectacular.
These are amazing.
With big savings on amazing must-haves, from fashion to home and everything in between. Starting this morning,
You're gonna love these Deals and Steals.
only on Good Morning America.
Little bit of sunshine.
Good Morning America.
The drain and the shower stall wasn't draining at all. The work he did was incorrect.
We both stood there, watched the water just go down perfectly.
Why would he proceed to install an entire shower over a drain that wasn't working?
Hot Bench. Wednesday at 3 on ABC 7.
The University of New England is launching a new postgraduate degree aimed at bringing more behavioral health professionals into the workforce. Brad Rogers looks at the new degree program and how specifically it will help people get the care they need.
Right now, the mental health needs of 2 sets of Mainers are vastly underserved. Vulnerable populations, like the ones living in encampments.
There's a good amount, and they can get in their meds and stuff, and they need it.
And people in rural Maine.
People in rural areas especially are having difficulty. We have a nursing shortage. People trying to access mental health services are put on long waiting lists, months long.
Joyce Morissette was a psychiatric nurse for 25 years. She says Maine desperately needs psychiatric and mental health nurse practitioners.
Nurse practitioners have a larger scope of care than RNs, diagnose and order tests, and and they're trained to do this.
And prescribe medicines too.
That's right.
There are always new nurses that are interested in practicing in mental health.
Jennifer Morton, Dean of the College of Health Professions, says this new degree program is a direct way to help people struggling with their mental health.
They can work in primary care settings and mental health settings, acute care, hospital settings. They can also work in the community.
And UNE President James Herbert, a clinical psychologist, says UNE has a responsibility to address pervasive health issues in our own backyard. This new program will do just that.
The sky's the limit.
We'll have more people to help if they get their meds, and it makes them more stable, and then they can get into a place and get off the drugs and stuff.
VZ Village Senior Housing got a little help through a cleanup project, thanks to a partnership between the Maine Association of Realtors and Penquis. Representatives from both agencies volunteered their time to help revitalize the senior housing complex, cutting down overgrown branches and bamboo. Projects like these give local realtors an opportunity to give back to their community and make new connections.
It's a yearly thing. It's not always Penquis when we're here in the Bangor area, and we're not always in Bangor or in VZ. We try to move it around to the different communities that we serve. So but we do at least a couple charitable functions every year where we just go out and help the community.
The Maine Association of Realtors have other projects coming up to help communities. They'll be working with Habitat for Humanity in Rockland and a revitalization project in Lewiston. To learn more about these projects, visit our website, foxbangor.com. All right, the time now is 6:15. After the break, we'll hear from a local author that has published over 30 books and recently had one of her stories adapted for the big screen. This and much more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the sparks that unite us, to the passions that drive us. We're driven by the things we love. From the visions that lead us, the feelings that inspire us, to the roads that bring us together. Coastal Auto Parts, 29 locations in Maine, will get you to the moments that matter most. With the largest network of parts and care to keep you firing on all cylinders. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Mad Cat & Company in the North Brewer Shopping Plaza. We're more than just a bar. Need a place to host your next gathering? Check out our spacious event room that can adequately seat 100 or more people. How big is your brain? The Old Guy hosts Wednesday night trivia. Want to feel like a rock star? Join us for Karaoke Madness Thursday through Saturday. You asked for it and we listened. Now serving Saturday and Sunday brunch. And don't forget about kids karaoke every Sunday. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Mad Cat & Company, where friends meet and become family.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine for more than 30 years with an extensive inventory, including mini track loaders with attachments, full-size track skid steer, track loader and backhoe, wheel loader with attachments, a 50-foot towable aerial lift, and a 45-foot self-propelled four-wheel drive lift. If you can't find it on our website, we can find it for you. Call for multi-day and weekend special rates.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Maine author Tess Gerritsen has a knack for medical mysteries. The Camden author has written 32 books, many of which have become bestsellers. Our Jody Hersey met up with her during a recent author visit in Carmel.
And I was just thrilled that she was coming to our small town.
There is no shortage of Tess Gerritsen fans in Carmel or throughout Maine.
I love that she's from Maine and she brings Maine and Maine places into her stories.
70-year-old Gerritsen, who lives in Camden, is a former doctor who turned author when she became a mom.
My children gave me an excuse to stay home. So I owe it to them that I was able to become a writer because it gave me the reason not to go to the hospital every day.
Gerritsen is best known for her Rizzoli and Isles mystery series that focuses on a female detective and female medical examiner solving crimes. Gerritsen's work was later turned into a TV drama on TNT featuring actresses Angie Harmon and Sasha Alexander.
There's a reason we have so many writers in Maine. It's beautiful. It has seasons which I think are really inspiring for the creative process.
Gerritsen has written 32 books in 36 years. Her newest novel, The Spy Coast, comes out in November. She spoke about it during her visit and book signing in Carmel, hosted by the Simpson Memorial Library.
And she's so well known and she's so helpful and supportive of libraries that it's, we're really grateful that she came and that she does all what she does for other libraries too.
Gerritsen shared more about her experience with those in attendance and even offered a little advice to other wannabe writers.
Your own process is your own process. There's no right or wrong way to be a writer. And write all the way to the end. Don't get stuck in the middle and think, oh, I'll have a better idea for another book. Finish that idea first.
In Carmel, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, the time now is 6:19. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Need the proper fit or experiencing foot pain? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. Alrighty, here we go. So things are quieting down. We had a few returns on the radar earlier, but now things are really starting to quiet down. Maybe a few clouds passing through. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky today. You might notice a sprinkle in the eastern parts of the viewing area, but I think most of us staying dry today with us a few clouds passing through and some sunshine mixed in. A good day to get outside and enjoy the weather. So otherwise, here's that cold front right about there, that area low pressure tracking away. We'll have a few clouds as a result of that, but high pressure is approaching from the west going toward the east. That's going to help us out to get the clouds out of here with some nice weather on the way for the next few days, but more activity off for the west, so with some more action across some of the upper Midwest, and that's tracking off towards the east as well. Let's talk about some wave heights right now. So around 3 to 4 foot wave heights being noticed in the ocean, remaining rather active, even 7 feet according towards one of the buoys out there as well. So the ocean's still rather active, and part of our culprit here is this system right about in here tracking from the south going toward the north. Another hurricane out there, though. This is Hurricane Nigel that's out there right now with winds up to around 100 miles an hour, moving to the north at 16 miles per hour. If there's any good news to report about this system, though, it's staying away from us. Nothing to worry about with this system at all. The only thing we'll have to watch, though, is mainly just some active surf, and that'll be about it. But notice this will track off towards the north and east. Looks like a new update hit our system not too long ago as well, with the winds up to around 70 miles an hour at one point by Friday morning as it becomes extratropical, and it'll still stay rather strong, but of course losing its tropical characteristics as it does track off towards the north and east. But back here at home, though, not too bad. There's some clouds tracking through for us today. A partly cloudy sky will be the general idea, especially in the eastern parts of the state. Some of those clouds may linger later on tonight, but as we head towards your Thursday, this is looking pretty nice with a lot of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds, some of those lingering into the evening as well. But once we head towards the parts of Friday morning, looking pretty good with a lot of sunshine expected. Average temperature now ticking down to 69 degrees. We'll do the lower 70s the next few days. So today, tomorrow, and Friday. 60s returns Saturday into Sunday. Also Monday to Tuesday as a cool down looks to move in yet again. So for today, lower 70s, partly cloudy, and the northwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, upper 40s, partly cloudy, northwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's tomorrow, lower 70s, mostly sunny and awesome out there. The north wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Already a Comfort Shoes extended forecast. So here we go. Lots of sunshine Friday with highs in the low 70s. Fall arrives on Saturday, and how appropriate. A chance for afternoon showers with highs in the upper 60s. Some rain could also continue into Saturday night, but on Sunday we're dry, mostly cloudy, highs in the mid 60s.
Max True Value Hardware in Unity is the best year-round option for all of your home improvement projects. Prepare your garden with compost and decorate your yard with flowers and mulch. We load material by the yard and also have a large variety of bag goods to choose from. Rakes, shovels, wheelbarrows, and garden carts. We have all the necessary yard tools to help you get the job done. Now is also a great time to paint your home and stain the deck or patio. We can help you complete the project with Easy Care Paint and Woodsman Stain. Max True Value Hardware. We take pride in serving our community. Let us know how we can help you today.
When visiting Maine, there are a few must-dos. Be a foodie. Relax on the water. Share your experiences. And start a shopping adventure at one of 17 Rennie's locations throughout Maine.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Stop waiting. Start living your life without knee or hip pain. Connect with a Northern Light orthopedist and get back out there. Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center. How are you?
It's great buy time at Bob's Small Engine Sales and Service in Bucksport. Now through September 30th, you can get rebates of up to $1,000 on 2022 CF Moto C-Force Off-Road ATVs, U-Force Utility Side-by-Sides, and Z-Force Side-by-Side Trail and HO Sport models. These inflation-busting rebates of up to $1,000 are only good through September 30th. Don't wait. See these great buys now at Bob's Small Engine Sales and Service, Route 15, 474 River Road in Bucksport.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Turning now to the war in Ukraine. President Biden and Ukraine's President Zelensky urged the U.S. and ally nations to continue backing Kyiv's fight against Russia at the United Nations General Assembly. The leaders warned that if military and financial assistance runs out, Moscow will wage wars on other independent nations next. ABC's Justin Finch with more from Washington.
President Joe Biden on the world stage, encouraging United Nations General Assembly members to keep standing with Ukraine in its near two-year fight against Russia.
Russia believes that the world will grow weary and allow it to brutalize Ukraine without consequence.
Ukraine's President Zelensky echoing Biden, warning the world against folding to war fatigue.
The goal of the present war against Ukraine is to turn our land, our people, our lives, our resources into a weapon against you, against the international rules-based order.
Zelensky now set for a return visit to Washington tomorrow, where a federal government shutdown looms as Congress feuds over funding, including for Ukraine. Last year, Zelensky addressed a joint meeting of Congress to wide bipartisan support. But this year,
there's no money. It's not a good time for him to be here, quite frankly. Any money we give to Ukraine, we're borrowing from our future.
Leadership in the now Republican-led House is slamming the White House's $24 billion proposal for Ukraine security and humanitarian aid, including House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
I don't think I have to commit anything. Where's the accountability on the money we already spent? What is the plan for victory?
The Speaker reversing course after telling a Russian reporter in May that he will continue supporting Ukraine. The president insisting the U.S. can't double back now with the world and history watching.
We face a moment of great upheaval, a moment where basic principles like sovereignty, territorial integrity, universal human rights are being tested.
President Zelensky is set for a third White House meeting with President Biden tomorrow and for Capitol Hill meetings with House and Senate members.
Now to the death of a fan in the stands of an NFL stadium. Video shows a fight breaking out during the Miami-New England game last weekend, but many questions remain. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the story.
Investigators near Boston are waiting for autopsy results to help determine if charges will be filed in the death of a New England Patriots fan. 53-year-old Dale Mooney was at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough for Sunday's Dolphins game. Video shows him in a Patriots jersey and hat getting into a row of seats when the fight breaks out.
I just saw a guy in a Dolphins jersey come over. He delivered 2 punches, and at that point, everybody kind of let go of the guy, and he fell back into his seat, and he unfortunately never woke up.
Witnesses say Mooney was punched at least twice in the head, never regaining consciousness.
It was tough to watch. We're trying to do CPR for at least 10 to 15 minutes.
According to Mooney's friends, also at the game, they were verbally taunted by other fans.
It takes a lot to get him mad, and he has the patience of a saint. I just don't understand what happened.
Mooney's wife tells our Boston station, WCVB, she's in disbelief.
I just feel numb. I just can't even believe this is for real.
Fan violence at sporting events, especially among rival supporters, is a long-running problem. And the Patriots say they're heartbroken by Mooney's death.
It's just a game. Nothing should cause violence from it at all.
Mooney's wife says he had no medical condition that she was aware of.
Republican infighting on Capitol Hill is spilling out into the open. House GOP members were unable to advance their own military funding bill on Tuesday. Their divisions raising the chances of a government shutdown. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
The resolution is not adopted.
Republicans are scrambling after hardline conservatives dealt a major blow to their defense spending bill. 5 GOP members blocked a procedural vote, one of the latest flashpoints to emerge in their funding fight.
You think it's fun for me to vote against a rule? It's not even letting the members vote on it. But I'm also unwilling to continue as we've done and have unlimited spending.
The bill's failure is a loss for Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who had hoped to project unity in the wider battle to avoid a government shutdown. Far-right lawmakers who want to cut spending are refusing to budge. However, several Republicans are slamming that approach, saying it yields no winners.
If they can't support our military men and women, people in uniform, making sure that we're a secure nation, there's no point in voting any more pieces of legislation out of committee because they're not willing to support the tough ones.
A separate short-term resolution that would in part slash some domestic spending and beef up border security is also in limbo. Dozens of House Republicans spent Tuesday behind closed doors hoping to hash out differences, but they reached no solution. Despite the chaos, McCarthy is trying to stay optimistic.
I don't quit. This is about the defense of our nation. This is just a challenge we'll overcome.
Others are bracing for a shutdown.
I would say the chances are very high that we may have at least a short-term shutdown.
House members were told to stay in D.C. this weekend to prepare for potential votes. Without a resolution, the government is expected to shut down at the end of the month. In Washington, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, researchers at the University of Maine have been seeking alternatives to consuming animal meat for protein. When we return, we'll hear how insects taste in place of them, or it. This and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
It's you.
Everybody that home runs, huh?
Hey, pass me the keys, Rob. I haven't had anything to drink.
Good idea.
We've learned to speak up to prevent drinking and driving. So why don't we speak up to prevent texting and driving? The results can be the same. Speak up. Lives depend on it. Don't drive intoxicated. Don't drive intoxicated. A sobering message from AAA.
Join us every Friday this season as we celebrate the return to the gridiron with the most highlights, reaction, and analysis of your favorite teams. Catch Sports Blitz Friday at 11 on ABC7. Sports Blitz brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. And by Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A Holdings, where you'll find furniture that's in stock and ready for delivery.
You were diagnosed with thyroid eye disease a long time ago. And year after year, you weathered the storm and just lived with the damage that was left behind. But even after all this time, your thyroid eye disease could still change. Restoration is still possible. Learn how you could give your eyes a fresh start at TEDhelp.com.
It's Autumn Gold in Ellsworth. There's the Autumn Gold Car Show at the Home Depot with sales and events all over town. Free boat rides and kids carnival at Harbor Park. There are also other events downtown and at Woodlawn. Sponsored by the Ellsworth Area Chamber of Commerce.
Planning to dig in your yard with power tools? Call DigSafe first. Call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig. Utility crews will come out and mark where your gas, power, and cable lines are buried. Keep yourself and your neighborhood safe. It's the law.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and today is Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. Today is also National Fried Rice Day. Pretty straightforward. I feel like I don't need to explain it. But hey, if you've never made it yourself, I implore you, whoops, I almost knocked my coffee over. I implore you to make some fried rice. It's remarkably easy. You know, it's kind of just about getting the egg a certain texture because you have to fry it in a pan, but it's a one-pan meal. Also, it's really good from local takeout too if you don't want to bother with that. Makes a great side dish or an entire meal. Okay, now for some history. In 1854, the world saw one of the first battles of the Crimean War, called the Battle of the Alma, when British, French, and Ottoman alliances defeated the Russian Empire. On this day in 1870, Rome was incorporated into Italy when Italian troops occupied the area. That's been on one of my bucket lists, definitely Rome. In 1893, the first gasoline-powered car debuts in Springfield, Massachusetts. And in 1946, the first Cannes Film Festival began, which was delayed because of World War II. But of course, we still have this film festival today. For birthdays today, we have Italian actress Sophia Loren. She was named by the American Film Institute as one of the greatest stars of classical Hollywood cinema. an old photo of her there. She's 89 today. American actor John Bernthal, known especially for his role as Shane in Walking Dead, is 47 today, and former Russian mixed martial artist Khabib Nurmagomedov is 35 today. I practiced his name and I still messed it up. Nurmagomedov. I'm sorry, Khabib, I messed your name up. Happy birthday to y'all. If they were in Maine today, it's a nice birthday. What else can you say? Here's Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Need the proper fit or experiencing foot pain? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. All right, let's get into things this morning. The radar and satellite looking pretty quiet out there. And there was a few returns on the radar earlier for a few raindrops, but a lot of that has since gotten out of here. And today looking to be rather calm. Just a few clouds that will be passing through. Maybe a sprinkle if you're lucky, but I think most of us will stay dry today. We'll have more clouds in the eastern parts of the state than anything else. As you do zoom things out, though, some of this will be courtesy of that area low pressure is tracking off towards the north and east, so some leftover returns could possibly show up there from time to time. But otherwise, we're looking pretty good as we do move forward. Futurecast for today, some clouds moving through, maybe a few raindrops as well. Notice we'll hold on to some of those clouds later on tonight, but also some clearing expected in a few spots. As for the wind, it'll be out of the northwest at times, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So overall, not too bad there. No major gusty winds on the way anytime soon. A lot of that will stay away from us. So for today, not too bad. Lower 70s under a partly cloudy sky and northwest wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, upper 40s, partly cloudy. Northwest breeze at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Awesome, right? Highs in the low 70s. North wind getting up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a partly cloudy skies. Temperatures rising into the lower 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. All right, well, at the University of Maine, teams of faculty, students, and staff are working to find cutting-edge solutions to the issues facing our food system. Our Devin Dagnall stopped by their food pilot plant to see if he could stomach one of their most innovative solutions.
I'm here with Chef Rob, who will be cooking me a dish from one of the solutions to the overconsumption of animal protein. Rob, what are you going to be cooking with today?
Devin, today we're going to be cooking with crickets. And the dish that I'm preparing today is a cricket torta, and so we're doing a play on a Mexican sandwich, and we're going to be featuring crickets and black beans in the patty.
For about a year, Chef Rob Dumas and his team at the University of Maine have been researching the different applications of edible insects, profiling their flavors and textures to figure out their best uses in traditional cuisine. Believe it or not, according to Chef Rob, every type of edible insect has a unique flavor and can bring something different to a dish, which means different types of ants won't have the same flavor, the same way different types of fish taste different.
We've used them in a corn muffin as like kind of a lemony flavor, but also they look kind of like poppy seeds.
Chef Rob also says insects have a lot of the vitamins and minerals a growing boy like me needs. For example, crickets are high in fiber, loaded with vitamins and minerals like iron, zinc, and B12, and are an excellent source of protein. Pound for pound, or rather gram per gram, crickets are 65% protein. Compare that to beef, which is only 14%.
I think that there's a little bit of like a conceptual barrier for a lot of people around, hey, I'm going to eat this thing that I've been told isn't a good thing, right? Just simply to overcome this concept that insects are dirty or insects are, bad in some way. Boy.
Bon appetit.
Oh, it's actually really good. That's actually really good. Now, the burger is good, but I did come here ready to eat some crickets. So we're gonna try a few right now. These are whole crickets. A few on there, yeah. It's no different than corn. You can hardly taste it. In Orono, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7, Fox 22 News.
I would try the bug burger. I would try that. I don't know about crickets and a salsa, though. That's kind of too real for me. If I can see it, then it's an issue. Okay, still to come here this morning, we'll have part 2 of our interview series with the Red Cross on emergency preparedness. Don't go away.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Shine Down. The Revolution's live tour continues. September 21st, Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine. With very special guests, Papa Roach and Spirit Box. On sale now. Buy tickets at waterfrontconcerts.com. Don't miss Shine Down live.
Stop waiting. Start living your life without knee or hip pain. Connect with a Northern Light orthopedist and get back out there. Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center. How are you?
It is made with bourbon, sugar, and a certain herb.
Mint julep.
Yeah!
Person, place, or thing.
I don't even drink!
On ABC 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with John Montes. He is the Regional Disaster Officer for the Red Cross. John, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So this is a two-parter. If you tuned in yesterday, you know we're doing a two-parter for National Preparedness Month. That's September, and we're doing hands-only CPR demonstrations. We're having conversations about why it's important, and we're going to teach some of you guys at home how to do it. John, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Did I already say that?
You did.
Sorry.
You want to do it over? Let's do it.
No, it's
okay. All right.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about when should somebody know to do CPR.
Such a great question, and it's one of the ones that we get asked the most when we teach this class. So here's what I'll say. The best thing to do is when you see someone that's down, ask them if they need help.
Right.
And if they don't respond to you, give them a tap. And we'll use this little Red Cross vehicle as our demonstrator, as our person.
Yeah.
So you just give them a tap. Hey, you okay?
Right.
And if they don't respond to you, call 911.
Right.
Right, don't delay help coming.
Right.
But once you do that, here's the trick. You have to look at the person and you have to think, okay, is this person breathing?
Yeah.
And the ways we identify that is their chest going up and down?
Yeah.
Is their mouth moving? Are their nostrils flaring? We call it look, listen, and feel.
Yep.
If they're not breathing, immediately start CPR.
Okay.
Don't worry about checking a pulse.
Could this be something, I know people also, if somebody's overdosing, that could also get confusing. Would it be beneficial if somebody was having an overdose as well to give CPR?
It would, because what happens is your breathing is the first thing to go, especially in an opioid overdose.
Okay.
Yeah, so your respirations will depress till
So
they're
if you don't
gone.
have Narcan or anything.
Yeah, if you don't have Narcan or
Right.
anything. By doing the chest compressions, you're squeezing the lungs up and down, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna move some air.
Okay.
So and while the first thing to go is the breathing, the next thing to go would be the pulse.
Gotcha.
So it's better to just start the CPR. And when you start CPR, there's only 2 times you stop.
Yep.
Do you know what those are?
No.
The 2 times you stop is if the person wakes up and says stop.
Yes, okay.
And the second time is when you hand off to someone else.
Okay.
So hands-only CPR is continuous. There's no counting.
Okay.
And really, that's why you call 911 right away, and then you get on it.
Gotcha. Okay, so I guess let's dive into it, right? Can you give a demonstration of how,
Yeah,
how does
absolutely.
it work?
So
I thought we'd have a dummy here today.
No, so we use these we call them emergency response vehicles.
Yep.
Because they're squishy.
Yep.
And they're less scary.
Yeah.
It's easier for someone to learn on something like this. It's small. We have a lot of them.
Yep.
We can give them out, and then you can take this home and you can teach teenagers. You can teach anybody with this.
Cool.
Then you can pass on this information to others.
Yeah.
And And that's a lot more effective than having the fancy mannequin.
Right.
Now, you need that for professional CPR,
Right.
and this is just hands only, which is lay rescuer.
You don't need the certificate to
No
save a life.
certificate,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But with this alone, we can do it.
Yeah.
So we'll pretend this is the person.
Okay.
We'll come up to them, they're not moving. Hey, do you need help?
Yep.
Nothing.
Right.
Call 911.
Yep.
Look, listen, and feel. Do you see any respirations? They're not breathing. Immediately start CPR. So what you want to do,
Obviously standing.
standing.
Yep.
Yeah, now we're doing it on a table, but you should have the person on the floor, but we're
Uh-huh.
doing it on the table so you can see.
Yep.
You're gonna go one hand over the other,
One hand over the other.
interlock the fingers.
Interlock the fingers.
You're gonna go center of the chest.
Okay.
And you wanna form a pendulum. So you want your shoulders to be directly over your hands.
Okay.
And then you wanna push down and you wanna push about 1.5 to 2 inches. So
Okay.
basically the entire length of the little car.
Gotcha.
And you do that.
Whoa.
You do that every, and you want to do that at a pace of about 100 to 120 times a minute.
Okay.
And
100 to 100 times a minute.
100 to 120.
Excuse me. Okay.
And really, the way you count it off is you can go 1 and 2 and 3 because that's a good rhythm.
Yep.
The other thing you can do, and it's going to sound silly, is to sing the song "Staying Alive."
That's what I thought. Yeah.
and,
Okay.
and that song is at about 110 beats a minute.
Okay.
So if you go staying alive, staying alive, and you'll be right on it.
Amazing. Okay. I think people may worry that they'll break ribs or that they'll hurt somebody, but that's better than them dying, obviously.
100%. And
Yeah.
remember, if the person is not in need of CPR,
Yep.
then the person will probably move or tell you they're not in need of CPR.
Okay.
Right? If
Yeah.
they're not responding to the point where you're doing compressions and they're not reacting,
Yep.
better to do something than nothing.
Yeah.
And remember, when you call 911, they'll provide you instructions on the phone. And if one of those instructions is hands-only CPR.
Amazing.
So.
Yeah, and you can learn it from a simple video. And on that note, what's the link so that people can watch this again if they need?
So great, yeah. So AmericanRedCross.org.
Yep.
/hands-only CPR NNE.
Amazing. And we'll link this in this article video on foxbangor.com.
And if you go there, we will be here in Bangor on September 23rd. We'll have a whole day for preparedness, so it'll be hands-only CPR and a lot more things.
Amazing.
And you can come and see us, and we'll show you how to do it.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah. Can learn something new every day.
That's awesome.
John, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Need the proper fit or experiencing foot pain? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. Alrighty, here we go. So things are quieting down. We had a few returns on the radar earlier, but now things are really starting to quiet down. Maybe a few clouds passing through. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky today. You might notice a sprinkle in the eastern parts of the viewing area, but I think most of us staying dry today with us a few clouds passing through and some sunshine mixed in. A good day to get outside and enjoy the weather. So otherwise, here's that cold front right about there, that area low pressure. Tracking away, we'll have a few clouds as a result of that, but high pressure is approaching from the west, going toward the east. That's going to help us out to get the clouds out of here with some nice weather on the way for the next few days, but more activity off for the west, so with some more action across some of the upper Midwest, and that's tracking off towards the east as well. Let's talk about some wave heights right now. So around 3 to 4 foot wave heights being noticed in the ocean, remaining rather active, even 7 feet according towards one of the buoys out there as well. So the ocean's still rather active, and part of our culprit here is this system right about in here tracking from the south going toward the north. Another hurricane out there, though. This is Hurricane Nigel that's out there right now with winds up to around 100 miles an hour, moving to the north at 16 miles per hour. If there's any good news to report about this system, though, it's staying away from us. Nothing to worry about with this system at all. The only thing we'll have to watch, though, is mainly just some active surf, and I'll be about it. But notice this will track off towards the north and east. Looks like a new update hit our system not too long ago as well, with winds up to around 70 miles an hour at one point by Friday morning as it becomes extratropical, and it'll still stay rather strong, but of course losing its tropical characteristics as it does track off towards the north and east. But back here at home, though, not too bad. Just some clouds tracking through for us today. A partly cloudy sky will be the general idea, especially in the eastern parts of the state. Some of those clouds may linger later on tonight, but as we head towards your Thursday, this is looking pretty nice with a lot of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds, some of those lingering into the evening as well. But once we head towards the parts of Friday morning, looking pretty good with a lot of sunshine expected. Average temperature now ticking down to 69 degrees. We'll do the lower 70s the next few days. So today, tomorrow, and Friday. 60s return Saturday into Sunday. Also Monday to Tuesday as a cool down looks to move in yet again. So for today, lower 70s, partly cloudy, and the northwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, upper 40s, partly cloudy, northwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's tomorrow, lower 70s, mostly sunny and awesome out there. The north wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Already a comfort shoes extended forecast. So here we go. Lots of sunshine Friday with highs in the low 70s. Fall arrives on Saturday, and how appropriate, a chance for afternoon showers with highs in the upper 60s. Some rain could also continue into Saturday night, but on Sunday we're dry, mostly cloudy, highs in the mid 60s.
A texting driver hit me, and the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
Don't take a tiny check from the insurance company.
Lowry & Associates got me over $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
Call 222-2222.
Ready to refresh your home? Fall into savings with incredible deals at the Furniture Gallery. Shop new arrivals from top brands like Ashley, Serta, Restonic, Nectar, and Franklin. Fall in love with unbeatable deals like our sofa and love seat sets for only $9.99 or sofas starting at $3.99. Indulge in ultimate comfort with over 150 recliner styles starting at just $2.99. My family and I are committed to giving you the best value for your money at the Furniture Gallery. Support our main family-owned business and save money. The Furniture Gallery.
Planning to dig in your yard with power tools? Call DigSafe first. Call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig. Utility crews will come out and mark where your gas, power, and cable lines are buried. Keep yourself and your neighborhood safe. It's the law.
Wherever you go, wherever you stay, all you need is one key. Earn and use rewards across Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo.
Several companies announced their plans for dealing with this year's holiday rush. Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis has the story and more on Fox Means Business.
Looks like Santa will be getting some extra helpers this year. Amazon says it plans to hire 250,000 seasonal employees for the holidays. That's 100,000 more than last year. Meanwhile, Target is targeting holiday job seekers too. The retailer is looking to fill nearly 100,000 positions, the same amount as the past 2 years. And the U.S. Postal Service is delivering job opportunities ahead of the holidays as well. They're expecting to hire 10,000 seasonal employees, but that's far fewer than the 28,000 they hired last year. The stock market taking a tumble Tuesday. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ all closed lower. A lot of investors are anxious as the Federal Reserve kicked off its 2-day meeting to decide the future of interest rates. And another crack in the foundation of the housing market. New home construction fell a lot more than expected last month. In fact, it hit the lowest level since June of 2020. That's business. I'm Jerry Willis.
What can your John Deere compact tractor do? Attachments for any job. Financing that's as easy as...
like getting a library card.
Affordable.
You're going to get this bigger tractor, and it's going to be less money.
Dependable.
Through the rain, through the snow, I'll work through it all.
Comfortable.
And I haven't any idea how we survive without it.
Experience United and build a tractor package customized for you.
I got rear-ended at a stoplight and needed surgery, and the insurance company tried to give me this tiny little check.
This tiny little check won't even cover my car repairs.
After a car accident, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call the twos.
I said no way to this tiny check. I called the twos, and Lowry & Associates got me $300,000.
I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the sparks that unite us, to the passions that drive us. We're driven by the things we love. From the visions that lead us, the feelings that inspire us, to the roads that bring us together, Coastal Auto Parts, 29 locations in Maine, will get you to the moments that matter most. With the largest network of parts and care to keep you firing on all cylinders. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
We are back.
With big stars and big laughs.
And a big chance to win.
The best things in life are free. But you can give them to the birds and the bees. I want money.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Well, a Bob Ross painting has sold for more than $9.8 million at auction. Auction house Modern Artifact in Minneapolis was selling Ross's painting called A Walk in the Woods. The iconic scenic painting instructor died from cancer in 1995. Ross taught millions through the TV show The Joy of Painting from 1983 through 1994. The painting was from Ross's first episode of the series, and it's called Ross's most historically significant original work. I think for a lot of people, he was almost like a therapist, you know, like he just made you feel better. It's really sweet. Okay, moving right along. Canadians were not the only ones treated to a sighting of the Northern Lights on Monday night, with people as far south as Missouri able to see the aurora borealis, defying expectations for sightings of the phenomenon. There were reports of sightings on social media of the aurora borealis in Indiana and Wisconsin, among other regions, even in western New York State. According to the National Weather Service, conditions appeared encouraging for spotting the Northern Lights overnight. It's definitely on my bucket list to see those here in Maine. A colorful company wants to sell flowers for charities. Crayola launched an online flower shop on Tuesday, which, it says, will also work as a fundraising platform. The crayon company says 10 to 50% of sales will go to a participating charity of the customer's choice. The flower shop is a collaboration with importer and distributor Mrs. Bloom's Bouquets. They range from $49 to $150. Crayola says it also plans to have a mobile setup at various events to support nonprofits. Very cool. And if you stay tuned for the next couple days, we'll have a local florist on with local flowers to show us how to do certain floral designs, and they're fall themed. So I'm really looking forward to that. I believe we'll have that on the show either tomorrow or Friday, so make sure to stay tuned. Okay, if you missed anything, please head to foxbangor.com. Good Morning America is next on ABC7. You can stay with us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22. Have a great day.